This is Ducks Hockey on Fire with Coach P and Henry, your home for Anaheim Ducks fan talk.
Henry, how we doing? It's day 2 of the 5-day break for the Anaheim Ducks. Much needed, headed into the remaining 23 games of the season. We got 9 of 14 home games in March, 5 games in April. 3 of those at home with the last one against the LA Kings. So, we got a lot of hockey ahead of us.
Yeah, I'm excited, especially with the trade deadline up here on Wednesday. It's sort of like the stretch run here up to the playoffs. Got a lot of important hockey. We're coming up against some big teams, and we just need to put our heads down and get some good hockey going.
Yep, absolutely. So last Saturday, Antoine Vermette met with the NHL and Commissioner Gary Bettman. And as of today, the NHL is saying that they're upholding the 10-game suspension. To Vermette's dismay, he released a statement which he agreed that he deserved a suspension, but he doesn't think the 10 games is correct. So he's weighing his options as of today, and we'll see if anything else comes of it. As far as I'm concerned, you sit the 10 games, get it over with, and let's get back to playing hockey. The team needs you, and we'll learn from the lesson and move on.
That's right. I was thinking though, does the ban go retroactive to the first game, or is it beginning now that he just appealed it?
No, it's retroactive. So he's already working towards his 10-game suspension.
There we go. So the sooner we get him back.
And I'm trying to take a look here. I'm trying to guesstimate what game he'd be back. So he sat
the 12th,
the Panthers. He sat Panthers, Ducks, so it'd be Coyotes, Ducks, Kings, Ducks, or Canucks, Preds, Blackhawks, Blues. So you're right. So he'd be back against the Capitals at home on Sunday, March 12th.
Big game. There you go.
Yep. So a big game, and then obviously.
Speaking of the Capitals, I just got an update literally a minute ago that they're maybe getting Kevin Shattenkirk here. So.
Oh, really? Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Well, obviously we got some stuff to talk about. I mean, obviously NHL-wise, there's a lot of stuff going down right now, and we might as well jump ahead here with trade deadline. I mean, I'm not sure if Bob Murray's going to do anything, but he usually has a rabbit up his sleeve this time of year. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if we with making the move for Eves. I think that's a great pickup this time of year. But I'm not sure we need anybody else at this point. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, it's tough. I think Eves is a really underrated player. I think he does a lot of work people don't really see. He gets rewarded, and he's having a hell of a year this year. He's got 21 goals. He's having a career year in terms of that stat. So you look at this guy, and if he comes in and can just do that, in our lineup, I think that could just go right and carry everybody with it, and not necessarily need to add anybody else, especially with the cap situation. I don't know if we can really afford it.
Well, the former Boston College hockey player, he's been around. He's seen a lot of different stuff in the NHL with Ottawa, Carolina, Detroit, Nashville, Dallas, and now in Anaheim. And just from some of the tidbits I'm getting, he's pretty excited to be here. He's back. He's actually back in Dallas right now, kind of doing some house cleaning, getting everything ready so he can come back and get ready for the stretch run. His family's going to stay in Dallas, but he's going to be here. And from what I've heard, the guys are really excited he's here, and he's excited to be here as well.
It's gonna be great to have him. I hope we can get a goal out of him this Friday.
Well, if he can get added to the point line, it sure would help at this stage. And I think I see him on basically 2 capacities coming in here. The first one is a real leadership role. He's going to come in with some experience and all the years that he's played in the NHL, and then secondly, he's going to add some offense and he's a responsible defensive player as well. So he's a good two-way player, and let's not forget about that.
Yeah, I think you're right, especially in the locker room. People underestimate it, but a guy like that can come in, full of confidence, playing with Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin, and he comes in and he's just going to get everybody going and, rally behind it. And he's going to be a great influence on this young team.
So let's take a step back to Saturday. Unfortunately, we're not very happy about the loss to the Kings, 4-1. Cogliano scores a lone goal on really probably one of the prettiest passing plays of the season in my mind.
That's a great goal. Yeah, unbelievable.
Silverberg steps in, Cogliano drives the net, he splits the D going. Silverberg sends it backside to Kessler, and Kessler back to Cogliano, who's driving it just to redirect into the back of the net. It's a beautiful play and very much the type of goals that as a fan you see something like that, you can get really excited about that.
Yeah, it was awesome. And after that, it kind of felt like the lost Kings game. You thought it was going to be real tight the whole way. The Ducks were winning 1-0. I kind of felt like it was going to go that way the whole rest of the way. But Quick played really well in his comeback debut and for the season. And these happen against the Kings. I think the 4-1 obviously inflated by the empty netter, but overall, I think you just got to play a full 60 minutes and get the job done.
Well, no doubt that the Kings were a little bit rejuvenated with Quick back in the net, and they got some timely scoring. So good on them. There's more hockey to be played. We're going to see them again here the last game of the season.
That's right.
In April. So we'll look forward to that game and getting a little bit of revenge on them. But moving forward here, Maple Leafs coming to the Honda Center this Friday. The interesting news coming out of Toronto is that they just acquired Brian Boyle from the Tampa Bay Lightning.
I know, that's huge. I
heard that. I couldn't believe it.
I penned him for the Ducks if we didn't pick up somebody like Eves. And he's a great depth forward who's played a lot of playoff games. People don't look at that for Brian Boyle, but he's played a lot of playoff hockey. And, he's no newcomer to that, so he can help this new Maple Leafs team. I think they're going to make the playoffs here, so I think it's a good move.
Then, of course, the return of Mike Babcock, long-time Detroit coach, but as we all know, he was here in Orange County. He was the Mighty Ducks head coach in 02, 03, and 03 and 04. And
against the Devils there.
Yeah. Well, the first season, 2002, 2003, took him all the way to the Cup final before losing to New Jersey.
Yeah. It's going to be good to see him back. He's an amazing coach.
He's well liked here in Orange County. He has a lot of friends and a lot of people here that he knows. So I'm sure he's going to be excited to get back here.
Yeah, I'm excited for that game.
Well, just a couple other news and notes. Brandon Montour reassigned to San Diego. Nick Kerdiles is still hanging on. I think everybody here in Orange County is cheering for him, rooting for him, so he can stay with it, and hopefully he can pot his first goal here real soon. I think that'd be very exciting for all the locals.
Yeah, I love it. I think he's going to be up with the Ducks and bond a little bit, and hopefully get some practice going. And if he can make this squad and be with them for the stretch here, he could be huge. He could be a huge depth forward, and I'd love to see him score his first goal in the Honda Center. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, that would be exciting, and we got plenty of games here ahead. Of course, like I said before, we got 9 games at home here through the month of March, and we'll see plenty of hockey here on home ice at the Honda Center. Again, trade deadline coming up here on the 1st, and just kind of interesting to see what Bob Murray's going to do.
What do you think about the move for our rival down in LA? They picked up Bishop yesterday.
Yeah, again, that's some of the moves that are going on that have just kind of been pretty interesting. But yeah, that's a big move, and there's a lot of moves coming out of Tampa right now. So I'm not sure what's exactly going on there. I know they're on the outside looking in at this point right now. So I maybe they may be looking to the future. But the move.
If the Ducks were to make any moves, I think it would. I think you would be maybe looking at some minor league moves, maybe a defenseman. But the budget is really where it stands, because you can't be moving around players and getting on $3-4 million cap and then being up on it right at the end of the season. So it'll be interesting moving forward here.
Well, I mean, I tell you, in Tampa with Bishop. John Cooper, head coach there, had coached against Bishop back in the North American Hockey League when Coop was with the Texarkana Bandits and then the St. Louis Bandits. Ben Bishop was with the Texas Tornado, and Cooper had coached against him many games and knew all about him. So when I saw him go there, I was very excited for the connection, and then he's stuck with them, but unfortunately he just wasn't getting it done the way they wanted it in Tampa. And he's a proven goaltender in the NHL, and I think the Kings were just kind of looking for something to stabilize themselves and not have to ride quick as he's just kind of getting back into the groove.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to be being Quick's an amazing athlete, but you can't rely on a guy going down the stretch here to carry the weight of the load. So,
well, again, with the trade deadline coming up on the 1st, any thoughts from you of a potential move or something that you could potentially see happening here in Anaheim by Bob Murray?
Well, I think if we had to add somebody, it would probably be another piece to go along the fourth line. So, I don't know, somebody maybe like a Brock Nelson, if we can get a moving piece and move a piece of defenseman over to New York, if we can take that.
Well, that's it's funny you bring that up, and we had talked about it last show with the young defenseman. I had kind of seen in some blogging some people mentioning Vatanen's name as a potential to be moved. I sure would hate to see that because I'm a big fan of his.
Me too, man. Yeah.
But I think from a team standpoint, to try to make a run this year and having such a great season, we definitely need to bolster a few things. But losing that piece on the back end too, is a hard one as well. So I sure would hate to see him go. But if you have to,
sorry, go ahead, man.
No, go ahead.
It forces players like Brandon Montour to step up because you get rid of Vatanen, and he does have over 200, 300 games of NHL experience. So for Montour to come in and just step up, that takes a lot. But if he can do it, that we're in a great spot.
Well, that's it for today, Henry. Appreciate it.
All right.
That's it for this week's edition of Ducks Hockey on Fire. Join us next week as we talk about the latest in Anaheim Ducks hockey.